Girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Are you ready to join a family-owned local company that values innovation, integrity, and excellence? Look no further than Lincoln Industries. They're hiring for first and third shift production roles, as well as multiple engineering and sales positions. Whether you're an engineer ready to design groundbreaking solutions or a sales professional eager to connect with clients, they've got a place for you. Come join their family. Visit www.lincolnindustries.com for more information.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
Summer concerts keep rolling at Pinewood Bowl with a great show this Friday, August 16th. Blue October headlines a trifecta of artists with Switchfoot and Matt Nathanson starting things off. Don't miss Blue October, Switchfoot, and Matt Nathanson this Friday, August 16th at Pinewood Bowl. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to Happy Hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico with you. What's up, Rico?
Yeller.
How's the day?
Great.
We're in this weird lull where frankly, going to have some cooler weather, some, weather that we can handle. And it feels like once football season gets here, it's going to ramp back up like it always does.
It'll probably more than likely get a lot hotter once football season starts, but it's a nice reprieve from the 157 degree weather that we had the last couple of weeks.
I remember the last time Josh Allen was here for the Wyoming Cowboys. I was at that game. It was, I want to say, one of the first games, or it might have been the first season that it was the East Stadium was open. The expansion, the East up high was open. I think it's like the 6th level on the elevators. And I believe I was up there running concession stands up on the 6th floor while it was about 117 degrees out for Nebraska and Wyoming that day. The day that Josh Allen
got the ball handed back
to him.
One of those guys is making moves in the NFL.
Yeah. The other one, I mean, it's fine.
It's still in the
Still
NFL?
there. Nate Gary, part of the 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, the reports are that the 49ers have a trade in place with Brandon Ayuk and the Pittsburgh Steelers, according to Ian Rappaport.
Wow.
So that was as of like 20 minutes ago. The 49ers just have to sign off on it.
That's almost as bad as going from San Francisco to Cleveland or San Francisco to New England.
Well,
you get to go to Pittsburgh. Granted, it's better coaching staff, but it's Pittsburgh.
It is kind of crazy because Mike Tomlin has been there like 16 years.
You'd be surprised by how long Mike Tomlin's actually been in Pittsburgh and has yet to have a sub 500 season.
So Mike Tomlin,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. He had the 500 season back in 2019.
Yeah. No sub 500s.
No sub 500s. He's 100. I mean, it's fine. 173 and 100. This is going to be his 18th year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2024 will be. He got there in 07.
If you ask
won the Super Bowl in 08, won the AFC in 2010, has not done anything since except just win at least 500 of his games.
Just winning, just going and knocking on the door of the AFC North champion title every single year. But if you would have asked me before you just said all that, how long Mike Tomlin's been in Pittsburgh, I'd been like, I don't know, like 10 years.
Yeah, you're probably thinking like 10.
Maybe.
You forget, I think maybe
he still looks
Steelers,
like a young man.
Maybe Steelers fans don't forget. You forget that they won the Super Bowl back in 08. That team with like Troy Polamalu and Hines Ward and the catch against the Cardinals.
James Harrison,
the
pick six.
You're right. I don't know if that's, maybe we don't forget about it, but we maybe forget that Mike Tomlin was the head coach.
Who was the one that had the catch in the back of the end zone?
Santonio Holmes.
His feet weren't down.
Is that correct?
Only one was.
Santonio Holmes.
You go back and look.
Santonio Holmes then went to
the Jets.
The Jets. And that's where his career kind of took a nosedive.
That's where everybody's career takes a nosedive.
So yeah, Mike Tomlin. How about that? Didn't expect to talk about Mike Tomlin today.
Shout out to Larry Fitzgerald.
Has coached 275 games as a head coach. Won 173 and 100 is his record. He has 2 ties in his career. Winning 63% of his games. In the playoffs, he is 8-10. Has not won a playoff game since 2016.
So
there's that piece of it.
He's also been dealing with not great. Like he had prime Roethlisberger, and then Roethlisberger on a steady decline, and then really hasn't had anybody since then.
So who would have been the Steelers quarterback in 2017? Would it still have been?
Would it still be?
It still would have been Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
but like back end of Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, it's not great, Ben. You know, back when he couldn't really move that well, was still a load to take down. That's what all the defenders always say.
So
but not.
Roethlisberger's final season was 2021. Mike Tomlin's last playoff win was 2016. He obviously they made the playoffs last year. They lost last year. They lost in 2021. They lost in 2020. They lost in 2017. They won 2 playoff games in 2016, a playoff game in 2015, 0 in 2014, 0 in 2011. I mean, if you take away, obviously, I get this. If you take away the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship game through 17 seasons, he has 3 playoff wins. But you throw in the Super Bowl that he got in year 2.
Yeah.
And you probably are sitting there going, man, Super Bowl champions in year 2 and back in 08. AFC champion 2 years later, and then in 2010. And then from 2011 and the following 14 years, you have 3 total playoff wins. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 of those 17 seasons, 8 of those 14 seasons, you're in the playoffs, but only 3 wins.
I still like Mike Tomlin.
You still like Mike
I still
Tomlin?
like Mike Tomlin.
I still do too as well.
Well, they haven't gotten rid of him because
Guy's 52 years old too.
He's not going only 52.
Only 52. Mike Tomlin.
He's not going sub 500. He's going over 500 every year, and it's one of those. The Steelers are at that weird limbo place that a lot of teams find themselves at, where it's, do we fire this guy and can we do better, or do we stick with him and hope that he turns around and gets back to, where he started, getting a Super Bowl win in his second year. I think they're stuck in that weird limbo position, and Mike Tomlin has not given them a reason to let go of him and try to look elsewhere quite yet.
So, okay, we'll move on from the
I don't know why we were talking about
Pittsburgh Steelers. I did want to get to some sort of a conversation, and we'll cut it a little short today. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Hammond text line. There's been so much, and I used to be in the mindset of like, man, recruiting is this end-all, be-all type of thing. I was very big on recruiting sites and paying attention to every ranking, and I could name the top 50 players back in like 2016.
Wow.
However,
I have never been that far into it.
However, I've gotten out of it, and it's probably for my mental health a little bit in a way. However, because
Nebraska wasn't getting those top 50 players.
Yeah, not even in the conversation necessarily,
not really.
Right? Like the years of Joshua Moore. Do you remember that guy?
I do remember Joshua Moore.
Joshua Moore created this really cool commitment video with the gloves, and he committed over Texas A&M to Nebraska and Texas, right? But then ultimately went back to Texas.
Smart choice.
Yes. So what I would say though is I wanted to get to this conversation about Julian Lewis, who is a current 5-star quarterback commit to the University of Southern California, USC Lincoln Riley, right? However, USC has not been able to convince him to shut down his recruitment. And it's because two programs, Colorado and Indiana, are on the doorstep trying to get Julian Lewis's commitment.
I can't.
I mean, think about Indiana for a moment, right?
Think about both of them. Think about Colorado and Indiana in terms of a 5-star quarterback who is committed to USC and a coach who has produced 2-3 Heisman winners, a coach who has produced 3 number 1 overall picks or 3 first-round picks at quarterback, 2 of which are still in the NFL getting big money.
You're right.
And 1 who is about to start his rookie year as one of the most hyped quarterback prospects in quite some time. Well, not quite some time, in a little bit, in a while. And he's trying to decide whether he should go to Southern California and play in the Big Ten for a team with as much history and prestige as USC and the Trojans, or if he should go to Colorado, a team that just won, what was it, 4 games last season?
Yes.
And is currently, has 2 amazing prospects who are probably both first rounders, but is going to lose both of them after this season. And their head coach, Deion Sanders, who is a superstar in his own right. But I don't know, in terms of quarterback production, or in terms of quarterback, what's the word?
Development?
Development. Thank you. In terms of quarterback development, how good that's going to go. I mean, it is his son who is the starting quarterback right now. And then Indiana, who
Kurt
just hired
Cignetti.
Kurt Cignetti.
Kurt Cignetti, 19-4 in his 2 years at James Madison.
You're trying to decide between Boulder,
Bloomington,
Bloomsdale. I don't even know where they're at.
Bloomington,
and Southern California, Hollywood.
Well, here's the thing. This was the.
What are you doing?
I think I accidentally got rid of the quote, but this was the quote. This was more or less the quote. If things don't get, he said, comes from Julian Lewis. If things don't get finalized, we will see what happens. You know what that tells me?
Somebody ain't signing contracts.
Somebody's not signing contracts. And number 2, that sounds like somebody that wants to wait and see if USC wins.
What dealership isn't giving him the car? What are we doing? What are we doing in Southern California?
So
come on, Tom Cruise, step up.
That's what's kind of funny about this.
Where are you at, Snoop? Oh, Snoop's in France. That's why. Because Snoop's in France. Once he comes back and talks to Julian, then it'll all be settled.
The other piece of this is Julian Lewis came out and said that. Well, guess what USC has done? And I actually somewhat respect Lincoln Riley and his staff for doing this. There's a Texas A&M commit just an hour and a half down the road, high 4-star, So Julian Lewis, according to On3, ranked as the third best quarterback in the class.
Mhm.
Husan, I can't remember his last name, ranked as the fourth quarterback in the class.
Just a different star because there's a bunch of different.
Just a different star
Okay.
because he's a little bit lower in the rankings.
Linemen, receivers, running backs, all those other guys in between there.
Well, so now they've started talking to him.
Oh.
So Julian Lewis sat here and said, well, I have all the leverage.
No, you don't, sir.
And now USC is going to say, well, if Julian Lewis ends up moving on from us, we'll go ahead and move on from him. And so now it's this leverage game of who has the leverage, who doesn't, who thinks they do. And in the end, I think this goes to show that maybe there's a lot of pressure to win for Lincoln Riley that maybe we can get into with Austin later in the show because there's some intriguing pieces where Lincoln Riley signs a massive deal, right? Brings a lot of his guys from Norman out to Southern California. It's been fine, but they lost their backup quarterback in Malachi Nelson. He ends up transferring out to Boise State. And so Miller Moss is the quarterback, and I'm not sure what the expectation is for Miller Moss because if Malachi Nelson never transferred, he would not be the starter.
No.
If Caleb Williams wouldn't have sat out the bowl game, we would not have had the 6-touchdown performance. If Malachi Nelson wouldn't have announced that he was transferring,
and if he would have played,
we wouldn't have had the 6-touchdown performance. So through the rose-colored glasses, I think there's high expectations on Miller Moss because of the 6-touchdown performance in the bowl game last year. However, the quarterback room as a whole, they need somebody. And to go from a guy like Caleb Williams to the quarterback play of whatever is next is going to be a step down. And I'm not sure if Lincoln Riley can afford that.
No.
Especially at USC right now as they enter the Big Ten Conference. All right, let's take a break. We have a guest joining us. Find out who it is coming up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise cloudy with patchy fog and a high around 79. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely, with a low around 68. And tomorrow, showers and storms likely again. Some could be severe. We'll see a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cook for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Old School with DP and J.
Can Nebraska have a player-led locker room in year 2 under Matt Rule?
I think it could be in year 2. I always say this: we had great captains every year I was here, but I always say some of our best leaders weren't necessarily our captains. So I think when you have that, that's a player-led team. So it doesn't matter how old the quarterback is.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Play ball! Ready to unleash the fun with Salt Dogs Baseball? Join us at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed games running through August. Stay ahead of the game by visiting saltdogs.com for updates on exciting promotions, giveaways, and events happening each week. Experience a change-up from your typical family night, or make it a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers.
Strike 3, you're out!
Don't miss the fun happening all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
You're listening to the Happy Hour.
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you. What?
With Nick Sainert.
You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
You put on a little jacket, you go. You take your lunch because you got big boy pants on. You got your big boy pants and your snacks.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I can say big loud things. I can be demonstrative.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Rico with you. Appreciate our friends from Empire Fence and Netting for their support of the show. As always, you guys can chime in 402-464-5685 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Sartor Heyman text line. Both those open for you, as well as the Sartor Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961. Good stuff in the first segment there. We will get to a Will Bolt extension, maybe put a bow on the previous conversation with Austin next segment in the crossover. But first, we have to get to our good friend, Joe Sheets of Link to Literacy. Joe, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us.
Thanks, Nick. So good to be here.
So you guys at Link to Literacy have an exciting event coming up in just a little bit over a week. In a week from Saturday, August 24th, it's Wordstock. For those that might not know what it is, haven't heard of it, it's your guys' second time doing this. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yes, Wordstock is a huge community-wide book swap for people of all ages. And it's like a festival. People can come down and enjoy food trucks. They can enjoy a celebrity reading corner, carnival games, all sorts of things. But most importantly, we have a store that people of all ages can come and go in and get as many free books for kids, youth, and adults and take them home. We'll have a special bag for them to take home, and they can just come and shop to their heart's content.
What made you guys want to do this, right? Because I know you guys have been in here a couple of times. We've had some really good conversations with you, Kat, and the rest of the board. But something like Wordstock, what made you guys want to put something like this on?
The reason we want to do this is to raise awareness. As you know, we provide our focus to children in underserved communities. And this is a chance for us to raise awareness for the public as a whole, for adults as well. We spend about 6 weeks ahead of the event collecting books from all over the place. My husband's one of the volunteers that's picking up some of the books, and our garage is overflowing right now with books. So we have drop sites all over, and volunteers are picking up donated books that people have given that maybe they've collected over the years. We put them all together. We bring them down for this event. And last year we saw over 600 people at this event. So the main purpose is to raise awareness, bring people in a fun family environment, and then they'll learn more about linked to literacy and what we do.
I mean, so you said 600 people last year.
Yeah.
I feel like it's somewhat of a double edge to where on one hand, it's like, yeah, this is really, really neat that we're able to help out all these people. But then on the other side of it, it's holy cow, there's so many people that need help.
Yes.
So I feel like it's how do you guys manage the emotion of it, I suppose, because it is this really exciting and I should say like rewarding experience, I'm sure, for you guys, but also it's somewhat jarring in a way.
Yeah, and keep in mind the community event, Wordstock itself, is for the public. It's
Yeah.
for anybody. It's to celebrate readers of all ages. So the focus we have all year long outside of this event actually is to focus on kids and families that are in underserved communities that may not have access to book ownership. So think about as you were growing up as a kid, did you own any books in your house? I did too.
Yeah.
And I think I took that for granted.
Absolutely.
And there are so many families that just don't own books. So therefore the kids don't have easy access.
Yeah.
And we have learned, I didn't realize a lot of this until I got involved. If kids aren't reading at grade level by the end of 4th grade, they are 2/3 more likely to end up in jail or on welfare as an adult. So we're trying to meet that need. And then that gap gets even bigger if they're members of underserved communities. So it becomes kind of a civil rights issue as well.
You guys mentioned volunteers, right?
Yes.
What are you guys still looking for volunteers? Always interested in getting more to help out? Where do people need to go if they're sitting in their car or their cubicle right now going, I want to help out with this event?
Yes, we still need volunteers for this event, and we need volunteers year round because our programs are just continuing to increase. They go to linked to literacy. That's the number 2.org.
So once again, linked the number 2 literacy.org. Joe Sheets, board member of Linked to Literacy with us. And Joe, so I want to talk a little bit more just about Linked to Literacy. We'll get back to Wordstock before we get you out of here, but specifically Linked to Literacy. Talk about some of the other programs that you guys do throughout the entire calendar year, because there's a lot of partnerships. There's a lot of stuff with, I remember, I mean, we know it that Dolly Parton comes and hangs out in our station and we take pictures of them. You can always find those pictures on our Twitters and things like that. Talk about just your guys' relationships, some of the other programs that you do throughout the year where people might have heard of things, but didn't realize that it was tied to you guys at Linked to Literacy.
Exactly. Well, our mission is to inspire generations to provide inclusive books and literacy education through community organizations. So one of the examples I like to help paint a picture is we might work with the Malone Center. So there's all these great organizations already in existence. And rather than us reinventing the wheel, we go out and ask them, what are the participants in the program? What books might we curate so that those children can see themselves represented in the pages?
Yeah.
And then we go out and do the fundraising. We provide the literacy resources, and then we can provide the books to those organizations. So the Malone Center is one. We have a partnership with Teammates, and we are providing literacy education through Teammates throughout the entire state of Nebraska. That's another example. We work with the foster care agencies. We provide hundreds of filled backpacks. And when you think about it, if a child goes into a foster home, sometimes they have very few belongings of their own. And if they have a backpack filled with their own books, that becomes a treasure to them. So if they are moving around
Yeah.
a lot, we're providing this backpack so they can own. So those are just a few examples where they can own their own books.
So once again, we're definitely want to talk about and encourage people to go out to Wordstock. Let people know about it. It's a book swap, right? Free books for all. You can bring books to share that you don't have to. That's just optional. Bring books to share if you'd like. There's tons of family fun activities. Go ahead and rattle off a couple of those because I know it's like tie-dye is going to be there, and there's a couple of other things.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss any. So go ahead and just, what are some of those activities that people will find?
Yes, anyone that shows up can buy just a white T-shirt and go to the tie-dye station. They'll have their T-shirt. Something I'm most excited about this year is brand new. We're going to have a celebrity reading corner.
Okay.
So we have some very special people.
Are we able to talk about them?
Yes.
Who are some of the celebrities?
There's your drum roll for this. Okay. At noon, if you want to come from noon to 1.
Yes.
You will actually see Jay Foreman.
Okay.
You will see Vershawn Jackson.
Okay.
And you will see Adam Carricker.
How about that? A couple people we know pretty well.
And they will be in a cozy little corner.
How about that?
Where the kids can sit on blankets and they'll be reading books to them for an hour. From 11:30 to 12, we have our friend Des Moines Adams, who's the CEO of Teammates, and he's going to be one of our celebrity readers. And then the morning is filled with authors of children's books coming down from Omaha. So that's a new addition this year.
I don't know about you,
really
but I'm
cool.
excited to listen to Jay Foreman read a children's book.
I am too. I am too. There's a lot of emotion, I'm sure, that's going to come from Jay. And now, go ahead.
I would say, so Joe, with the book swap, is there any types of books that you might be encouraging people to bring in, or is it just whatever extra books that people have within their households that they would like to give away to somebody else?
That's a great question. We really encourage gently used books. So keep in mind, these are books that we want to provide with dignity to families, to all families in our community. So gently used and something that maybe isn't too dated, that would appeal to current people that come in. So other than that, it is wide open.
Children's books, larger, thicker books for adults and young adults, anything like that.
Yeah, and our volunteers are going to be busy that morning sorting all the books. So when people enter the covered shelter at Antelope Park, which is near the playground, they will come into what looks like a bookstore. It's the sheltered area, so even if it's sprinkling, it's fine. And they will be able to go to a table, children's books, teen books, fiction, nonfiction. So we have lots of volunteers working hard to make it a great shopping experience for free books.
So once again, this is the second annual Wordstock put on by our friends at Linked to Literacy. It's the book swap, free books for all. You can bring some to share if you would like. You don't have to. Family fun activities. You can hear Jay Foreman, Vershawn, Adam Carricker kind of reading a book to some of the children in the corner. You can see them probably cuddled up in a blanket if you want to see that.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be kind of funny to see.
I need Jay Foreman on a beanbag chair with a very cozy blanket.
Yes. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Reading Green Eggs and Ham.
Maybe you guys could help us pick which books they should read.
I would be honored to. I would be honored to. Community booths, food trucks are going to be out there. And this is all from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. next Saturday, August 24th at Antelope Park in the covered shelter. So don't worry about weather. It's going to be just fine. We're going to have a sunny day for it. It's the second annual Link to Literacy Wordstock. Can't thank Joe enough from Link to Literacy for stopping in. Once again, they're still looking for volunteers. Go to linked2literacy.org now and sign up to volunteer for the Wordstock event. And if people just in general want to donate, whether that's financial or their time, right? I'm sure still linkedtoliteracy.org.
Yes, it's really easy. There's a donate button right at the top, and we
Perfect.
need to help cover the expenses
Yeah.
of this event. That would be awesome.
So there you have it. If you can't make it out there, but you say, you know what, I want to make a little bit of a financial contribution, very much appreciated, and you just go online, linkedtoliteracy.org is the place to go. Joe, can't thank you enough. Go ahead.
I got
Enrico.
one more question. Why Wordstock?
Wordstock, it is so groovy. And if you remember, Woodstock back in the 60s was all about unity and peace. And we couldn't think of a better reason to call our Wordstock with that play on words because it's about literacy. You will see the theme carried out, hence the tie-dye t-shirts and our groovy theme.
How about that? Rico, I think you and I are pretty groovy.
I think we're pretty groovy.
There it is. All right, once again,
Need some,
Wordstock.
flower sunglasses.
From our friends at Link to Literacy, second annual Wordstock, August 24th, a week from this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. out at Antelope Park. Make sure you can go online to learn more just about Link to Literacy in general, one of the great nonprofits here in the city of Lincoln. Once again, Joe from Link to Literacy hanging out with us. We'll step aside. Austin will join us as we get you ready for On the Block with Stricken Austin coming up next right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry, this deal ends soon. See Home Club for details.
A veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer! Usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Play ball! Ready to unleash the fun with Salt Dogs Baseball? Join us at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed games running through August. Stay ahead of the game by visiting saltdogs.com for updates on exciting promotions, giveaways, and events happening each week. Experience a change-up from your typical family night or make it a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers.
Strike three, you're out.
Don't miss the fun happening all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Become part of the Landmark difference today. Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, is currently hiring in our parts departments. As a member of our team, you'll assist customers in finding the right parts for their equipment, manage inventory, and collaborate with sales and service. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you at our dealership. Apply today and grow your career with Landmark Implement, where your skills make a difference in the ag community every day. See full details online at landmark.careers.
Bill Bush here for Hefty Seed Company, who wants you to know about their summer meeting on Wednesday, August 21st. You know how deeply I care about ag, so I'm locked into these topics for the meeting, including input costs for the 2025 growing season, weed control, fertility, seed traits, new varieties, herbicide, and crop protection pricing, and all industry news. RSVP today, heftyseed.com/store meetings, or call 402-646-2040. It's the Hefty Agronomy Meeting at Harvest Hall at Seward County Fairground on Wednesday, August 21st from 1 to 2:30 with lunch at 12:30. Free lunch. Don't miss it.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone here again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln.
Andy, I hear your lot is packed with new and pre-owned cars again. I know everyone would love to hear all about it. Please tell us all about it.
Thanks, Charlie. It's taken some time, but we have more than 150 new Hondas in stock right now with hundreds on the way, including over 30 new Ridgelines in stock right now. But we've been telling everyone now, Charlie, is it's really cool that someone can come in and look at a new Honda and drive away with it that day.
That's great. Like you said, it's taken a while, but now there are hundreds to choose from. How about pre-owned, Andy?
As always, Charlie, we have over 100 to choose from, all makes and models, with prices starting at under $10,000.
Well, maybe it's time. You come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
The 2024 Nebraska football season is here, and we need you to be a part of the Sea of Red Memorial Stadium this fall. A limited number of Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now and are only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on any of the action this season by getting yours before it's too late. To purchase your Husker football single-game tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
You're listening to the Happy Hour.
Hola.
With Nick Sainert.
¿Tú eres un bueno worker?
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Sí, yo muy bueno worker.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You speak English? Yes, I'm really good at English. Okay, good. Me too. Get in the car.
Once again, thank you to our friend Joe Sheets of Link to Literacy. Their second annual Word Stock going to be happening next Saturday, August 24th at Antelope Park from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We found out that Jay Foreman, Vershawn Jackson, Adam Carricker going to be reading books next Saturday, August 24th. And with that, we bring in Stricky and Austin. Gentlemen, we haven't done this in a while. What's up? Thank you.
Too far.
That was too far, Stricky. We've done too much. You done messed up. Gentlemen, how's it going?
We're great.
Good. How many tickets you got now?
I don't have any.
Oh, okay.
Do you have one?
No.
No, I mean, you don't when you get here at 154.
Hey, them phones off?
Oh, good call, my boy.
It was about to go off.
Did you say you got one?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just got here.
You just got here. They got half the street shut down today.
I know. So
our
they
friends
give no tickets.
Our friends across the street, our friends of the station, advertised for the station, Highball, getting new signage.
It's a nice looking sign.
So it's friends of the station. So a great spot for pre-games if you want to come on over here. Go grab. You need a coffee before you hit the hard stuff. You can get a coffee. You can even have a beer here at the mill, beer and wine, and then you can go across the street to our friends at Highball and grab a beer before Husker football season.
Do you want Vegas betting odds for Nebraska Class A over under win total?
No, I do not.
Wait, hold on. What?
This is not real. We are not doing this.
I think this is real. Go.
No, it
It's
is
not
not.
real.
Go.
I
No,
was
it is
joking.
not.
I
I
was
am
joking.
vetoing. I'm
Yeah.
going to look at it, so make sure you
I'll send
bookmark
it
it.
to you.
But I'm not talking about that.
Not Las Vegas, just
Just
old
Vegas.
Vegas. I don't know. Just Vegas.
Anyway,
Vegas, Nebraska.
Guys, the good news is it's a 356. Okay, good. The good news is
Like just out of nowhere.
Crazy.
Good. I'm glad you paid your passport. Speaking of, no, we're not getting into that. Anyway, no. The weekend picks. T-minus 2.5 weeks.
So excited.
T-minus 2.5 weeks.
I won last year.
Did you win last year?
I will be better.
My percentage is better than everybody.
Time out.
You had like
did you win last year?
Are you winning, son?
You were 47 and 45 overall.
I won.
Yeah, you would have made a little bit of money.
You would have more than me.
Yeah, you were negative.
That's right. Jay was
your plus minus was horrible. It was shaky.
Jay hung out with us for 1 week, was 6 and 5. Austin, you were 58 and 64.
Oh yeah, underwater.
Rico was 63 and 71.
Oh Lord.
Well, I made a couple of the pushes.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
10
Yeah, you
games.
got a couple of the pushes.
I was like, yeah, no, this will work.
I do need to and this is maybe a project for me, like the day before, to clearly write out all the rules.
Yes.
For the entire year. We cannot change them.
Nick was shaky. Nick was real shaky.
No,
he would not.
Everybody can hold me accountable.
It was me. I was the one adding rules.
Yeah.
I was trying to catch up.
Yeah.
I just kept adding stuff.
Put some respect on my name street. Anyway, so that's happening. I found I still have our picks from like the last week of the season.
Our founding.
It was on Christmas. Dang, these are fun. I can't wait for this. We picked Coastal Carolina versus San Jose State.
Yeah, we did.
We also picked Troy versus Duke and James Madison versus Air Force. This is great.
Look, we're not picking games that everybody else
we don't
is
pick
picking.
the good ones.
No.
We don't pick the good ones.
I want that Alabama plus or minus 35 game.
Hold on. ESPN Week 1 college football.
Like give me the largest spread, I'm picking that game.
We always do the largest spread because this week is where you get like the 35-point spreads.
Yeah.
Like Michigan, Hawaii, and stuff.
Because you have to make a decision.
choice.
It's tough.
And then it's like, man, I just hope Michigan wins 49-6.
Yeah. And you're sitting there, you're just like, one more touchdown. And they're like, yeah, they're letting their foot off the gas.
Come on, why is there the third string quarterback in the game?
Right.
You're sitting there like, Alex Orchie needs to throw at least 2 passes.
We may pick. I'm looking at one right now, and I see this one between Alcorn State and UAB. That's pretty intriguing on a Thursday night at 7 p.m. Alcorn State or UAB. We also
give me the Blazers.
We also
Alcorn State will mess around and get you.
That's what I'm saying. You got to be careful.
Alcorn South, UAB Blazers, Gretna Dragons. Alcorn South, Gretna Lions.
Hey, Trent Dilfer's really out here though.
We also may do Merrimack and Air Force.
Hell yeah,
Nick.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Hey.
No way, Nick. Don't do that.
Have you ever seen Air Force's campus?
Yes, I've been to Colorado Springs.
It's beautiful.
It is a beautiful campus on the hills.
Yeah,
and it's up there.
Beautiful.
What do we think the Merrimack mascot is? Any guesses? It's a pretty common one.
It's like a cat of some sort. It's a cat.
It is not a cat.
No? Dang it.
Are they like the Hawks?
No, the Warriors.
The
Merrimack Warriors.
Right. Oh, I was thinking Monmouth.
I feel like I was thinking Quinnipiac.
I don't know.
Merrimack this year, not too difficult of a schedule.
They go
on the road. They go on the road for their first 3 games: Air Force, Yukon, and Bucknell. Then it's Bucknell. Excuse me. Maine, Dartmouth, at Morgan State. That's a tough one. You can get a ticket for $33.
Hey, those Maine Blackbirds will get you though.
Stonehill, Colgate, at Robert Morris versus Sacred Heart, and at Fordham. Remember when Fordham played here?
Oh, shout out to Fordham.
Yep. The Rams.
Never forget.
Remember when they're
52-7.
Nick? Remember when we looked up their mascot?
I do.
And like there were 3 or 2 times that their mascot got kidnapped.
Yeah,
and
got
killed?
kidnapped. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Like their rival stole their Ram mascot and killed it.
And killed the Ram. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so we'll get to that when we get there. 8-inch on the text line says, any chance we'll ever get the industry baby rejoin for football season? I don't think we could.
I may be working on some things.
Rico's working on some things.
It's not going to be industry.
It's not industry baby. I forgot about that song. In all honesty,
maybe we can get grandfathered in like Early Break did with their Final Friday song.
Maybe.
I doubt it, but we could try.
There's copyright things that we got to worry about.
Let me hit up Lil Nas X and see if we can.
Hey, pause. Anyway, can we pause 10? Good one. Can we pause 10 seconds for station identification?
I guess we can.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, so we do want to get to this. Will Bolt, earlier today, it was announced that Will Bolt, Nebraska's head baseball coach, has signed an extension through the 2029 season. I definitely wanted to talk about this with Austin specifically, just because we were down in Stillwater for the regional a couple of months ago. In Nebraska, they won 40 games this year, right? And it's kind of like the old adage of like, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And we were having those conversations of like, with new leadership in the building, what's it going to look like for maybe some of these other sports like baseball, softball, women's basketball, like what some of these other sports that aren't football, men's basketball, or volleyball? What does it look like under Troy Dannon's leadership? And so far, since he was hired in March, he's signed 4 coaches to extensions, and maybe that's because of the play on the floor, whether that was Fred Hoiberg or Amy Williams or John Cook, obviously. But now Will Bolt is the 4th one that since Troy Dannon got here in March, he has inked to an extension through 2029 is the detail, or excuse me, is the length of it. He gets a $100,000 bump in pay from $400,000 to $500,000. Thoughts on that just overall?
Not top tier nationally, but tops or close to tops in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good sign that Nebraska is choosing to invest. I think there are people that are going to be of two minds of it. The first camp is probably going to be, yeah, baseball's been fine. Not a huge revenue sport. It's not, hemorrhaging money by any means. They're in the postseason with somewhat consistency. It's an alum. It makes sense. I have no complaints about the program. They're happy about it. Fine. Wash your hands of it. Move on. There's another group who's going to say 5 years. Really? The first 5 years, 137 wins, 6th all time. Not bad. Okay. That's fine. That's moving up. And you can't forget one of the seasons was shortened due to COVID. So really 137 wins in like 4.25 years, if that. Okay, that's fine, but only 2 regional appearances, and you missed out on Omaha.
Yeah.
And you have, 1 regular season conference championship and 1 postseason tournament championship? Not bad. But the next 5 years have to be better.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. The next 5 years have to be better. Bump your 5-year window of wins from 137 to 170 plus, probably. You got to, I think, go at least 3 for 5 in regionals. And I think you got to win more than 3 games in regionals combined, right? If you don't win a regional, okay, you haven't taken the next step. But you have to be in the postseason more often than you're out of the postseason. I think you got to win, another 2, maybe even 3 conference championships, whether it's regular season or tournament crown. Will Bolt, I think, deserved an extension. But now we see if he can truly build a, Nebraska dynasty, Nebraska program. I just still feel like we're trying to figure out who Will Bolt is as a head coach. I think he's trying to figure that out as well, because there hasn't been anything consistent from year to year, right? The identity of the team changes. The recruiting philosophy hasn't been through. There wasn't hey, we can see the vision for this guy as the next Max Anderson. We're recruiting this guy to be the next Bryce Matthews. I don't know what Nebraska baseball is. And I think if Will Bolt wants another extension, he's got 5 years to figure out how to make Nebraska into something consistent.
I'd be interested to have just kind of the walk down memory. And what I mean by that is when you look at Nebraska's last couple of seasons, right? They've won in different ways, but they've won a small number of games in different ways. And they've won it. Obviously, they won a lot the small ball way with the team and the roster and the guys that they had back in 2021. The following year, they tried maybe a little bit of a different philosophy. And even though they said they didn't, their roster was constructed in that way. And maybe that's what is more important here, is something that we need to maybe talk about a little bit more, is that the way that the roster was constructed maybe tied their hands a little bit into how they had to play the baseball game.
But that's a coaching choice.
Exactly. And so I'm in the same boat as you, Austin, in that. From a big picture perspective, guys, you have a $500,000 salary, which puts them at the top, if not at the top of the Big Ten Conference. But in terms of nationally, barely inside the top 20. And that's fine. That's okay. But think about what we were just talking about back in Stillwater, Austin, and we had these conversations on various crossovers. Kevin O'Sullivan from Florida is making 1.8. And now, Jim Schlossnagel, who's made a couple of CWS appearances, is now making close to 3. It's not official, but that's somewhere in that $2.7 to $3 million range. way that I think Nebraska can really take a step forward is just by winning a regional, right? Because then you're able to say and maybe convince everybody around you that, hey, you know what? This is our guy long term.
For reference, I found this tweet from friend of the program, Evan Blaine. This was back from 2021. At that point, Rick Heller was making $376,500 per year. So Will Bolt, I assume, is close. Was it 400,000? I assume Heller got a raise or two in there.
Yes,
because he's done some pretty solid work with Iowa. But Eric Bakich, who took Michigan to regionals, to super regionals, and oh, by the way, not just at the College World Series, but the College World Series final series, was making $800,000.
Yeah,
maybe Michigan has more money than Nebraska. Michigan doesn't have more commitment to baseball than Nebraska. Not in the fan base, not in the facilities, not in the infrastructure. If you're telling me that Nebraska needs an $800,000 head coach to make it to the College World Series, pay that in a heartbeat. Is Will Bolton that guy that deserves it? I don't know.
Especially when,
I hope he earns it by the end of his contract.
Especially when there's teams out here paying 1.3, 1.5, 1.7 that aren't making it.
No, you're still going to be, if you make it to Omaha in the College World Series, you're still going to be probably 8th in revenue, probably 8th in head coach spending, given the caliber of team, unless someone else makes a small conference run. Nebraska needs to be a big boy of the Big Ten, and that's how you make strides to being a power player nationally.
Yeah.
So starting with a salary that is, at least top 3, assumed higher in the Big Ten, is a great start for the program. And now the results have to back up the contract.
Is this one of those where it's you did win the Big Ten, we're giving you this extension, here's this extra money, we have more, but you need to do more, and that's kind of something that they might be running with from Troy Dannon and the athletic department? And also, is this one of those, I don't know how much longer Will Bolt had on his contract before this extension. Is this
next
one
year?
End of 2025.
Could this be one of those extensions also, not saying it is, where it's other teams using, okay, you see they did win the Big Ten, but you can see on social media how people are talking about head coach Will Bolt and the Nebraska program, and he won't be around much longer. Why would you commit to that? You could come here, instead of using kind of that as negative recruitment.
So back to Rick Heller,
maybe
from Iowa. He signed an extension in 2022 that made his deal run through 2029. So that's a 7-year commitment back in 2022 from the Iowa Hawkeyes. Will Bolt, like we said, was supposed to expire at the end of next season, which is why it was crucial for him to go into the postseason this year.
Yeah.
You go into your final year of your contract with only one postseason appearance after there was already an initial extension and an initial bump in pay. Because I believe when he got here,
$300,000
was $300,000, and he's earned that $100,000 raise every single extension. But it was very important. And frankly, like, the draft picks have been pretty impressive for Will Bolt. Like, they have done a good job of getting guys in the league. It's that getting them to perform at a high level as a cohesive unit in Lincoln. That's been the struggle at times in a conference that necessarily is not a national powerhouse too. I mean, that's where there's another piece of it as you look at the rest of the conference. I agree with Austin. I think it's a good move for Nebraska. I think it's a really good, because there was some concern, right? Like, if Nebraska ever did decide to go a different way with the landscape that college baseball is now, what is Nebraska able to go get, right? Are they in the tier of going out and getting a high level group of 5 coach that is making the postseason? And I instantly think of Dallas Baptist when I think of a team like that. Or are they one of those that needs to go to a Power 5 school and get maybe their second assistant or their first assistant even? Like, that's the kind of conversation, especially in a day and age where you have sitting Big Ten head coaches going to be assistant coaches at SEC or Big 12 institutions.
That's the exact problem that Nebraska is facing, is that at least right now, this feels like the perfect level for Will Bolt.
Yeah, I agree.
Given that he's an alum, I know he has SEC experience as an assistant, but he hasn't dominated the Big Ten. This might just be Will Bolt's level. Maybe he's a Big Ten
Mark Few of baseball.
Mark Few of baseball, something like that, right? Why not try to build
Stay
that?
here.
If Will Bolt were to leave, if someone else were to get fired or whatever might happen, it's going to be tricky for Nebraska to find another person who's
dedicated,
whose ceiling is probably the Nebraska job, for example, because if you go and you get, a group of 5, whatever, head coach, they're going to view it as a stepping stone. Say, hey, here's a more power program. Let's have some success here. ACC, Big 12, SEC, come calling. See,
How'd
if
it
you
do?
get an assistant, kind of like Will Bolt was, but maybe a little bit different, you hire a number 2 or a number 3, you bring them, okay, this is just proving I can be a head coach. They're going to value my SEC, ACC,
There you
Big
go.
12 experience more than my Nebraska experience. I just needed something for the resume.
Yeah.
So then the onus is on Nebraska to not just identify the right coach, but make Lincoln, make the baseball program, and work with Tony Petitti to make the Big Ten a conference worth staying in terms of investing in facilities that aren't just good for the Big Ten. If you want a national caliber coach and national caliber players, you need either national level facilities or national level development in good enough facilities.
Yeah, I think this is a really good move for both parties, right? I think it's a good move. It provides a little bit of security, obviously, for Will Bolt and his staff, right? We got a question on the text line of whether or not Rob Childress will be here in 2029. I think it'd be, it would not be correct of us to just assume or say yes or no to that question. I think ultimately, though, if Nebraska wins games, if Rob Childress is here, that's great. If he ends up moving on or retiring or whatever the case may be, well, then if Nebraska's successful enough, they should be able to be an attractive enough opportunity for somebody else to come in and kind of take the reins. And so you just hope that maybe this Nebraska can now start a streak. By the way, while we're on the topic of Nebraska baseball, I wasn't going to bring this up unless it was pertinent to the conversations that we were having. But I saw what Case Sanderson was doing over the summer for Nebraska. I don't know if you guys saw this. In the Northwoods League, which is a pretty premier league in terms of summer baseball, hit 359 at the plate, 7 home runs as well. The guy hit a 103-mile-an-hour home run over the fence to help his team win the game on Sunday, in a playoff game, rather.
This is what league is this?
This is the Northwoods League. And so, but by the way, if I'm not mistaken, wood bat too. And so there's that piece of it too. So you talk about if you're able to hit the ball consistently with a wood bat, you'll be able to kind of hopefully make that transition to the aluminum or to the metal, the composite, whatever material it is nowadays. So, all right, gentlemen, what's coming up on the show today?
We will talk some NFL quarterbacks to lead things off. JJ McCarthy's knee surgery and Wilt Levis's mayonnaise perfume. How about that?
There it is.
Pretty incredible. Then we're getting a lot of Huskers. Who are the 3 most important players for Husker football? We'll get some audio from Tony White and Rob Dvorak, who spoke today. And Brad McMurphy has some really interesting thoughts and nuggets about the AP Top 25. Ohio State might be in trouble.
There you have it. All that and more coming up in just a few minutes on the block with Strick and Austin. Appreciate those guys as always. Let's take a break. When we come back on the block, Strick and Austin, appreciate you guys joining us. Thanks again to Joe Sheets of Link to Literacy for hanging out on the block. Coming up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Adios.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.